Ahoy there, listeners, and welcome to another episode of the Captain's Horror Meltdown. My name is Cammie, and I'll be your captain on this journey, and I am joined, as always, by the ships. I haven't really had time to think about this one, just the ships. It's either going to be doorbell repairman.
Okay. Is there a doorbell on the ship? That seems surprising.
There is, but only it's a small door that we enter and exit halfway down the side of the ship, but we can only use when we're in port.
Right, okay.
When we're docked. It's got a doorbell for some weird reason. It probably doesn't work because of the sea spray.
A doorbell from the inside.
Yes, to let us out. I think you're more likely to be our, not really so much of a job, but our resident psych freak out Vietnam vet.
Oh, I think I could do that.
Yep. I think you've got it on you. You've got that vibe about you anyway.
Yeah, well, certainly at the moment.
Totally.
Usually that starts to kick in about 3 p.m. every single day. I tend to start freaking out and just shouting at shadows and the kids, obviously.
Well, that's because the homeschooling's just finished. And you've lost the plot. Well, actually, the homeschooling finished several hours before that, but you've just been drinking quite consistently from between the homeschooling and then your eventual breakdown.
Yeah, pretty much. I tell you what, the homeschooling's been a bit of a bonus recently because, like, we always kind of started at 9. Mm-hmm. But Alexander is, the last couple of weeks, he said, I think I'd just like to start as soon as we get up.
Right.
So, okay, fair enough. So, like today, our first lesson, was 8 o'clock and we were fucking done with homeschooling by 11. Just boof out the window. Amazing. Job done.
Man, and that's including breaks and all the rest as well.
Yep. So like 2 lots of 50 minutes. He speaks to his, I was going to say he does his grand for half an hour, but that's kind of weird. His grand calls him and they do some French together whilst Cormac tries to sort of smash
that's nice.
Yeah, it's quite nice.
We just realised the other day that Esme's had French homework all this time, but it was in a folder that I didn't know about. I hadn't noticed.
What would you do?
Neither of us speak French anyway.
Yeah,
so
fuck that for a laugh.
It's absolutely hopeless.
That's my mum. I'm just gonna.
As if by magic she knows exactly when we're going to start recording.
Absolutely.
Totally. Every time. Nails it.
She always asks me, well, what's the best time to call? I was like, never call me after 7 o'clock. And I would say the last 5 out of 6 times she's called me have been after 7 o'clock.
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
It's just because I don't really want, I don't really like speaking on the phone at the best of times.
Yeah.
And after the kids are in bed, I'm just like, fuck, just leave me the fuck alone. I mean, I tolerate this conversation.
Just, yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's touch and go. I've had to have a few beers to get, sort of take the edge off the general frustration. But,
God, yes, general frustration. What's general frustration up to these days? I haven't seen him about the ship for a while.
Oh, he is rampant. Absolutely rampant. I mean, totally. He is hard drinking. He is uncannily in every room I go into.
Yeah,
he is.
I think he's been drinking quite heavily with Major Confusion. So
it's weird how, like, Major Confusion, the drunker he gets, the more reasonable he becomes.
Yeah, totally. It's wild. Wild characters.
Yeah,
we've been on board the ship with them for years now, and we still don't really know them very well.
No, I think we best keep it that way.
Yeah,
I think they
refuse to get involved as well. God, bloody outrageous. Well, I actually was actually very close to your mum's house today.
All right.
I could have popped in for a chat.
Well, no, you couldn't.
I would have probably still been there by now.
Yeah, and drunk.
I cycled over the Eildons.
Oh, of course, yes.
Up to the top of them, and then down again. It's quite steep when you're coming down.
It's quite steep when you're going up, surely.
Well, yeah, but I'm like, some would call it cheating, but I've got an e-bike, so.
So I mean, I was going to ask you about this thing because Rachel's there. I told her you had bought one, and she's now kind of considering getting one for work.
Oh, it's absolutely fucking tremendous.
So what is the deal? I mean, the Eildon Hills. I mean, it's a fucking hill. There's no question about it.
Yeah, totally.
Like it's off road.
Well, Marianne said that we'd on her like sort of Garmin watch thing. It gives you all the stats, and there's over the sort of whole bike ride today. We had a climb of 530 meters or something.
Right.
Yeah. So
does this thing drag you uphill?
No, you got to bed. If it actually had. So this is the interesting thing with e-bikes.
Okay.
It can't have a throttle basically.
Right.
Like it can only add to your power.
Okay.
That you're putting in.
So it takes the weight off, essentially.
Takes the weight off of effectively, totally. So it's got 4 settings on it: Eco Tour, e-mountain bike, and Turbo, or something like that.
Turbo, I like the sound of that.
Turbo as well. Well, the other thing is, legally in the UK, the engine has to cut out at 16 miles an hour. So anything over that, you're going to enduro speed. So it's all about just sort of, accelerating at lower speeds or whatever, and keeping you at a constant speed as well when you're just cycling along normally. But I think I can't remember what Eco does, but basically Eco adds hardly anything, and then Tour adds 50% more power to the power you're putting in. Then mountain bikes like 200% power, and then Turbo's 400% or something like that.
Right.
Turbo's insane.
It sounds
totally
I'll
insane.
have to say, you ever get that feeling where you kind of regret asking a question?
Yeah, totally. Sorry, very, very boring for everyone. But it's a hell of a fun. Another thing that's great about it is that you don't, because there's no accelerator or anything like that, basically, you just ride it like a normal bike.
Yeah.
And it just, you pedaling until you get to 16 miles an hour or whatever it is, it's just automatically adding that power for you.
Sounds
great.
Sounds like quite a beast.
Oh, it's amazing. Well, next time we see you in real life, I'll give you a shot. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, no, Rachel's like seriously considering it and possibly maybe ditching the car altogether.
Man, I'd highly recommend it. She works in town anyway, doesn't she? So
she does, yeah. I think the only reason she kind of ever drives is like this. I mean, she's like as in the centre of town as she possibly could be, but there is a car park, so it's like so the temptation is always there. And in fairness, when it's louping down with rain in the winter and the hail's battering your face, then maybe you might switch back to the car.
Yeah, totally. I mean, presumably Rachel's got a parking space with her name on it as well. So you're going to want to use that, aren't you?
I don't think she's got a name on it, but she has got a special permit to park in this thing. Yeah.
Tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. You'd want to do that, wouldn't you?
I think we can use it at the weekend as well, which is quite exciting.
Oh, that's amazing.
So we can go to the museum on Chambers Street and just park in the car park opposite, which is quite nice. I mean, you've got 2 wee kids, is great news. Although, to be honest, they quite enjoy the bus, so it's a bit of a swings and roundabouts thing.
They'll love it when you get a pair of e-bikes and you drag them around behind you.
I won't be around. I can't. I'm too scared.
Too scared? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. You're like, but you've just got to be more assertive, man. More assertive.
Yeah, but how assertive can you be when you're on a bike and there's a truck coming at you?
Just punch it away. It's fine.
Okay. Use the special harness power of your e-bike to
totally.
punch away truck things.
Yeah, the truck punch. Yeah.
Oh, I'll keep it in mind. Absolutely. Other than that, anything rocking your week in lockdown?
Well. No, I have no idea what's going on, and I can't. Oh, the most exciting thing that's happened this week is that I got notice that my Vinegar Syndrome Blu-rays have arrived in the country, so they should be here this week.
Should be on their way.
Which is very exciting, and also slightly nerve-wracking because I can't quite remember what I ordered.
That does not surprise me.
There's bound to be. I don't think I've seen any of the films I've ordered, so they're all blind purchases.
Well, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, yeah, I like to support Vinegar Syndrome as well, but yeah, fuck knows what's going to happen. And I mean, the thing is, I've got a massive pile of Blu-rays that I'm not going to get through anytime soon anyway.
Come on, it's fucking lockdown, man. This is your time. This is your time. Rise to the challenge.
I tend to find that the problem now is that you're busy doing homeschooling and stuff all day, and then occupying your child's time later on. Then suddenly it's dinner time. And then it's like, get the kids to bedtime. And then you've got maybe time for a movie or something.
Yeah.
I used to be able to sit and watch like 2 or 3 movies a night easily. Now it's just like game over. Sometimes I can squeeze 2 in, but I like definitely have to select them by checking the run times.
Oh, yeah.
And making sure that I pick 2 sub 90-minuters if possible.
Yeah. I think
the golden time for me now is 85. It's 85 to 89 minutes.
Soon you'll just be on shorts.
Totally cartoons.
Yeah. Yeah, I think one of the hefty problems with the vinegar syndrome is if you've had a day like that when you've been kind of full scale and you're a bit kind of mind crumbled, sometimes you just want something completely non-challenging, and I suspect all of those films will provide some sort of challenge.
I suspect that they will all be challenging in some way, yes. But I will report back when they arrive. What about you? Anything exciting happened to you this week?
Not massively. I think you were mentioning the 3 films in a night. I actually did it the other week.
Did you? What did you watch?
I can't even remember. I watched Harpoon.
Oh, okay, yeah, I quite fancy that. That's out on Arrow, isn't it? It's quite a new film, isn't it?
Reasonably. Yep, Arrow, I've got that one. I'd have to go back to the chat to remember them when I watched.
Shit.
I finished off the night with Rocky Balboa, though.
Oh, shit, yeah. I've not seen that for a long time.
Yes, I quite enjoy it. I will stick it on once a year or something. Good end of nighter always intrigues me. But the most exciting thing that's been going on this week is that Cormac, my youngest son, got some caterpillars.
Oh, amazing. Yes, he's keeping them in a jar as well, isn't he?
Well,
has he got a special net?
Hold on a second. It's a thing you buy.
Hold on a second. Right. So did you just... Right, hold on. Right. Esme came to me the other day and was like, Dad, can we use my butterfly farm? And I was like, what's your butterfly farm? She was like, the butterfly farm. She brought down this box and had a big sticker in the front and it said, includes free caterpillars worth $11.99. And I was like, oh, how long have we had this? They're definitely dead. And then I looked at it a bit closer and it says you got to send off for the caterpillars.
Yeah, you got to send it. You got a wee voucher. So he got his little house thing for it. Well, I say house, it's like I don't know, like some netting thing, whatever the fuck. So yeah, it's weird. You can actually buy the thing on its own, which doesn't have the creatures inside, because obviously they would die if you kept them on a shelf for any length of time. So yeah, but weirdly, yes, you can buy just the box of stuff and then send away the voucher. But we just like, fuck it, we'll just get the whole thing at the same time. So he's not disappointed when it arrives and there's nothing inside it. So yeah, we've got 10 caterpillars on the go at the moment.
Nice. Has he named them all?
No. Nope.
Has the cat tried to eat them?
Not yet, but I don't think she's seen them. We've put them high enough that I don't think she'd see them. But I tell you what, those guys grow at a fucking pace. It's unbelievable. When they first arrived, they were like... So we have pretty poor reference point for someone who's never seen a bloodworm. But have you ever seen a bloodworm?
Yeah.
Tiny little
thing. Yeah, like sort of for you feed like lizards them and stuff.
Pretty much. And my newts used to eat them. Tiny wee things. And I would say these things are within the space of a week 20 times the size they were when they arrived.
Holy shit!
It's just like,
what'd you feed them?
Well, they come in these 2 little pots, aerated pots, and in the bottom of the pot is this kind of substance, essentially.
Right.
So they like tuck into that. And I was actually watching one of them just eat away at it today. It's like making this semicircle in the ground that it was living in. I was like, this is fucking demented.
Right.
So yeah, and then eventually they get into their chrysalis form and they attach themselves to the top of the little pots, and then you take the lid off, which have got all the chrysalis attached to the top, and then you put it into the net, these little holders, and then they hatch into beautiful butterflies. Yeah.
Or do they? Maybe it's a trick and they hatch into clothes moths.
Oh, no!
They're
Jesus,
released.
don't say that.
That's how they've taken over the country again. Clothes moths.
No, honestly, fuck, I can't tell how many people I would kill if that happened. It's happened to me once. I've had a clothes...
Oh, sorry, man. We had my kilt that I got for my 21st birthday, handmade.
Oh.
Handmade by a woman who made Prince Charles's first kilt.
Oh, Jesus, raped by moths.
Absolutely devastated by moths.
Oh no, we had them in our old flat, and it was chronic, man. Absolutely chronic. I actually went to visit. You know Mark Baxter.
Yeah.
Went to visit him down London, and this is after my moth experience, and got into the flat. It was no surprise to me that his flat had moths. I mean, that was the least of his worries, to be honest. I made the mistake of thinking inside the kettle one day. It's like, what the fuck is going on here?
Oh, God.
But, oh yeah, I've got these moths. I was like, I was deadly serious. Man, you need to sort that out fucking immediately. They will rampage through the entire place. And he was like, you're having a laugh? I was like, no, I am not joking. They will turn up fucking everywhere. If you leave a pile of clothes on the ground, one day you'll lift them up and there'll be like moth maggots fucking all over them.
Yeah.
And it is easily one of the worst things. Fleas was possibly worse.
God.
Because our lovely cat arrived with fleas, which,
God.
Well, I guess it's I don't know, we just bought them off a person. So obviously the mum had fleas, passed it on to the kittens, and I tell you, that was fucking torture. The place I found those fleas, man, I got this big old can of stuff, and basically Rachel took the kids away for the weekend because I was going to hunt down every last one of these fuckers. But I just didn't really read the instructions properly.
I can imagine.
So this can of stuff was meant to do. This was before I ordered. No, I took Alexander away. This is quite a while ago. So we didn't have the extension at that point. So we only had 3 carpeted rooms or something like that. 4 including the hallway. And so, yeah, one can of this was meant to do 2-story houses. And I gubbed the whole fucking thing. Didn't open any of the windows. Didn't wear a mask. And at one point I went, we had a mattress stored under a chair, and I opened up the crevice in the mattress, and there was rakes of larvae in there and stuff. But it was amazing because I got really close to them with the spray can, and they basically melted as soon as it touched them.
No.
Fucking melted. And even at this point, I didn't clock that this could be a problem for my respiratory health. A man with a history of asthma. And,
just going wild with poison.
Yeah, so the next week was... we don't have a flea problem anymore. I'll say that. But it was... Yeah, a lesson learned. Read the back and pay fucking attention to it.
Happy days. Yeah.
So there we are. Yeah, that's
nice.
Lots of random asides there.
Yeah, totally. Well, we're still in lockdown. Mm-hmm. Although it's easing, will we give a little? Will we say?
Well, let's do that. I think I might have forgotten the last time. Or maybe it's other podcast I forgot. So we are on Wednesday, the 17th of June. In Scotland. So we are looking on an announcement for a possible phase 2 reopening in Scotland.
Phase 2 reopening tomorrow, yeah. Possible phase 2. That'll be Scotland going absolutely Raj Bongo. Being allowed to go into other people's houses.
Yep.
Legally.
Yeah.
No more sneaking around.
So yeah, you can if you and your girlfriend live apart, you can quite legitimately go and do stuff together. Can you? Because you still have to be socially distanced, though, do you not?
Oh, you do have to be socially distanced, but I mean, fuck it. I mean, we're talking Scotland here. Once you get 2 people in a room and a couple of drinks down you, then who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, I'm quite happily chuckled off to a naked pair of boobs or something.
Yeah,
from 2 meters away.
From 2 meters, totally. Still probably hit them.
Not my age, mate.
So yeah, there we are. There we are, lockdown. Shall we move on to the movie?
Yes, let's do that. I've no idea. I've been recording for 602 bars.
Oh, yeah, you've moved to this weird system. We've been recording for 20 minutes.
Okay.
And we have not talked about the film at all.
Well, that's been standard under the lockdown podcast, I think.
Yeah, totally. Great. Well, the last film that we watched was Hellraiser.
How did we get to this from Hellraiser?
We got to by New World Pictures.
Oh, well, wow. Okay. Fairly
Is the link.
nice.
Yeah, so the link is New World Pictures, and the movie this week is House.
Yes.
From 1985. Or was it 1986? 1985, I think.
I thought it was 87.
But I see various different sort of dates around.
Yeah, maybe production release dates maybe didn't quite match up, perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it was released in 1986, probably shot in 1985, so...
Well,
certainly released in the States.
It came out at some point.
It came out at some point in the 80s. Will I do the little synopsis?
Let's do it. Let's get Letterboxd
Here we go,
out
over
of
to
our
Letterboxd.
tits.
Here we go. House, 1985, directed by Steve Miner.
Mm-hmm.
And the tagline is a classic. Ding dong, you're dead. I like it. So the synopsis is, Roger Cobb is an author who has just separated from his wife. He moves into a new house and tries to work on a novel based on his experiences in the Vietnam War. Strange things start happening around him. Little things at first. But as they become more frequent, Cobb becomes aware that the house resents his presence. Now, that all happens, but I don't think that's a very good synopsis for the film.
Does it say anything about his kid?
Doesn't say anything about his kid. Doesn't say anything about the fact that he's known that house all his whole life, and that it belonged to his aunt.
Yep.
And that his aunt knew that the house was possessed and had told him the house was possessed.
I was going to put my hand up and say that's the worst one yet.
It is definitely the worst one yet. It's absolute bullshit. Jesus.
Why
we need to find out who's writing these.
It's I don't know, probably Captain Turbulence. I fucking no idea what's going on there. That it's wrong. It's right, but it's missed out so many points. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Now it's only been rated by 9 people on Letterboxd.
Seriously?
Yeah. Apparently, that's what it says. So there's 9 ratings.
Right.
For it on Letterboxd.
Oh, we can introduce our new thing that I forgot about last time, maybe, where we guess the.
The tomatoes.
Yeah, let's try that.
Tomato. Although, so there's nine ratings. 9 people have given it a star rating. Although 14,000 people have said they've watched it, and 2,500 people have hearted it. Now, I don't actually usually put ratings in myself, so. I guess quite a lot of people do.
That's quite a lot, though, surely.
Yeah.
From, well, yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of my New Year's resolutions was to kind of look more into Letterboxd, and I've just blatantly not done it at all. And to be honest, with the information you give me about it, I'm quite glad that I haven't.
Yeah, honestly, it's worth a look. And it's a good. I started using it as a way to just track what I was watching because I've got a fucking terrible memory. It's amazing sometimes. I go on to log a film that I think I've not seen before, and then I see that I've logged it
12 times
already. God, yeah, shit. Now, we usually start off just by talking about what our memories were of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be very short for me because this was the first time watch for me.
Yeah.
And I was actually thinking about this. I only vaguely remember it from the video shops as well. And I remember it kicking about, but it never piqued my interest, I don't think.
Oh, really?
It wasn't really on my radar at all, and I never thought, I'm going to rent that out for some reason, which is quite strange.
Because the cover art's quite alluring.
The cover art is quite alluring, I like it. Yeah.
Because there's quite. I mean, the one on the Arrow was. Well, let's have a look at this. Yeah, because the original one, obviously, Arrow have got their own artwork on the outside, but you can flip it around and get the original one, and that's quite nice. I mean, the tagline. This is absolutely great. You are cordially invited to spend an evening with Roger Cobb and his friends. Don't come alone. And you've got the sort of maggoty hand pressing the doorbell. That's house. Horror has found a new home.
Nice.
So you can understand them. Yeah, for me, I saw that in the video shop. I was like, I think I'll watch that. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, totally. I'm surprised we didn't actually see it together at any time as well. But
Yeah, totally. Because it's weird. Yeah. Well, anyway, if you've got anything else, keep rambling. But
yeah, no, not at all. No, I genuinely don't have any recollection of it at all. Really, like I didn't. It really wasn't on my radar, except that I knew it existed, but I didn't ever want to actually watch it. I don't think, or not that I didn't want to watch it. It just the opportunity never arose to actually rent it.
Yeah.
But it's a great sleeve, actually, isn't it? That sort of disembodied hand ringing the doorbell. Yeah, it's great. But yeah, I mean, nothing was completely new to me at all. And in fact, one of my very early notes in the film, I hadn't really read anything about it going into it either. And one of my early notes is this a comedy?
Yeah.
Question mark. I had no idea whether it was a comedy or whether it was a horror or what before I went into it. I was like, I genuinely had no idea what I was expecting. Well, I think the presence of, well, as we were saying just before we came on air as well, the directed by Steve Miner, who did Friday the 13th 2 and 3.
Yep.
We think,
before
and
this,
produced by Sean Cunningham, who created Friday the 13th. I think probably in my head I thought it was going to be a slasher film for some reason.
Okay.
No, completely took me by surprise, this little number, actually. I hadn't realised that it would be not only a horror comedy, but quite a light horror comedy.
Yeah.
In terms of, there's no gore or anything really, is there?
No, it's fairly kind of creature and monster based.
Yeah, totally. And actually, so Marianne absolutely hates all things horror. She's a total fairy. She's generally terrified of things. And I put the film on last night and said to her that I was watching it, and she sort of rolled her eyes and would usually have gone elsewhere. But I was like, look, I mean, it's totally 80s. You might as well see what you think at the start of it. And she ended up watching the whole thing and actually, I wouldn't entirely say enjoying it, but she had a laugh while she was watching it. So yeah, I mean, that basically I really genuinely had no idea what I was going into, and it was a bit of a wild ride, I have to say.
Yeah, it's it's interesting. Certainly for me, this is one of those films that was like a multiple rental for me. Like I rented it lots and lots back in the day.
Right.
And I always really loved anything with a monster or a creature or anything like that.
Yeah.
This has got quite a lot of that going on. And as you say, it's fairly kind of bloodless, but it's now I kind of think back to it. There's like a lot of films like that back in the you had a monster from the extremes of like Monster in the Closet, or to like stupid stuff like Ghoulies and stuff like that. It was just kind of vague kind of daftness with lots of like a monster. And
I suppose Gremlins and stuff as well.
Yeah, there was loads and loads of it going about. But I just always loved the creature, and I really enjoyed the kind of oddness and the inventiveness of the creatures in this one. Because they are fucking bizarre.
Oh, it's totally mental.
And so yeah, it's one of those. It's very kind of rare for me, but I mean, when Arrow announced this, I mean, it was like an immediate pre-order for me, even though it was like a hefty 4-film box set. And I rarely do that these days. But yeah, it was interesting because I don't think I'd watched it since I'd got it, which has been a good few years. And I do remember being kind of surprised by how unhorror it was when I watched it again.
Yeah.
And then more I watched it, I was like, this actually brings me back to that time when I just enjoyed a creature and I just couldn't get enough of a creature. And that was what kind of thrilled me, like the special effects and the models and all that kind of business. It's very much one of those films. It's horror comedy. It's probably swaying more towards the comedy side a lot of the time.
Yeah, I would say so. And probably, I don't know what rating it was in the States. Is that an R?
I don't know.
Or a PG? I don't know. I wondered, was it an 18 over here at the time? Because it seems like, it feels like it would be 12 territory for me now.
Yeah, you're not
Probably.
far off. Was it a 15?
Although it does have a sort of hanging in it, which they may be funny about. The old BBFC.
I don't think you could do a 12 with that, to be honest. And
You couldn't really, could you?
Vietnam War shit
just,
going on. Yeah.
Yeah, giving people ideas. But yeah, like I said, it like did genuinely take me by surprise when I started. So, it was a 15 at the time.
Yeah,
back in the day.
I would imagine that. Yep.
Yeah. Really took me by surprise. Really didn't know what I was going into, and I just I thought it was an absolute hoot. Actually, now I didn't pick up the Arrow Blu-ray. I've been trying to pick it up, but it's
gone back to full price, isn't it?
It's gone back to full price, £50 or something.
I don't think that's even the fancy edition.
The RRP's more than that. I think the RRP's like £60 or something.
Is that even like the fancy version anymore though?
No, it's just a standard version with 4.
Yeah, it's like wow. Yeah, I think I looked at it. It was like £50. I was like, wow. The thing is, I paid less than £50 for it with the fancy.
What have you got with yours? How did you? Well, we'll get to it later, I guess.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. Yeah, probably won't be worthy of a Blu-ray theme tune, but I'll have a little crack at it.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah, I didn't manage to watch it on Blu-ray, but shit. I thought that it really. I had no idea what I was getting into when I started watching it. Worked out reasonably quickly it was a comedy, but then you're still like, what the fuck? Because there's wild swings in that film as well.
Yeah.
And some quite wild performances as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole film is like really fucking out there. Like I have to say, like straight up before we get to our reviews or anything like that later on, our ratings, I really enjoyed it, and I'm really interested to see the others in the series. Although I think that part 3 was just a sort of retitled random film.
It's no explanation. It bears no resemblance to anything. Actually, it always reminds me of. I've not watched it in ages. Actually, full disclosure, I've only watched 1 and 2 since I got it. But House 3 always reminds me of Shocker.
Right.
Got a very similar kind of storyline, and
right. God, I've not watched Shocker for a long time.
I think tellingly, there's not a house involved.
Right, okay.
Certainly not the house. Like,
now,
right.
So, and in parts 2 and parts 4, which are sort of canon,
yeah,
is it the same house?
Well, yeah, it's all kind of, totally.
Nice.
I mean, certainly in House 2, House 2 is kind of like Evil Dead 2, and then it like really pushes the more comedy aspect of it.
Right.
Which I think is fair enough. It kind of works that way. House 4 I've not actually seen for donkey's days, but and your main man seems to be back in it according to this thing.
Yeah, he's an interesting character. Like, fairly
William Catt,
thoroughly watchable in this, but also not a particularly good actor. But quite striking looking as well. Quite a wild performance.
Treads an interesting line. It's
yeah, I mean, one of the big things I would say about this as well is that for quite a lot of the film, now I couldn't work out whether it was, so for quite a lot of the film I thought it feels quite like a sort of TV episode. Like it feels almost like TV level. And then I was like, does it actually does it just feel like a slasher film? But seeing a slasher film set in like an old sort of Victorian house, and
oddly a lot of the time in broad daylight,
and just makes it feel that those circumstances make it feel like some sort of shot for TV thing.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with you, because even like because it's really odd. I mean, like a lot of the creature effects they've got are shot in broad daylight, which is so unusual, like massively unusual for a film of this kind of budget and this kind of vibe.
Yeah, totally. It's wild.
Yeah, like burying body parts that are coming back to life in the back garden in broad daylight.
In broad daylight.
Like, wow,
while your neighbour's swimming in your pool.
Yeah, it's like, wow, this is weird. And But normally that would be like a rain fucking hammering down on a dark, cloudy night. But no, it's like a beautiful sunny day. Your, quite frankly, quite alluring neighbour is in your pool. It's like, what the fuck is going on here?
Man, it's very alluring neighbour who then almost instantly foists her child upon him for babysitting so she can bolt away again. And then, I don't really know what.
It's like there was no preamble to that. It's like, oh, here's my kid. Look after him. It's like, sorry, what? And then she just buggers off. And then there's that incident with the like freaky little doll children puppets trying to drag him up a chimney. Oh, lovely.
Yes. What the fuck's going on with those guys?
Fucking bizarre. I mean, this whole film screams of bizarre.
Totally.
Don't get me wrong. It's disjointed as fuck.
I suspect that there was quite a lot of cocaine going down.
Oh, and the rest.
When this was getting written. A lot of booze, cocaine,
I reckon the
Quaaludes.
The guy who like bought the cocaine took mushrooms before he bought it.
Totally. Awful one. I mean, it's not the most wigged out horror film I've ever seen. I mean, I've seen a lot more like crazy things, but at the same time, it is fucking out there. It's all over the shop.
It's just like a total a real undercurrent of like, what?
There aren't any rules within the movie as well. It's almost like Airplane or something in that. And I don't mean that kind of slapstick humour or whatever, but you just don't know what's going to happen next.
Well, that was it. It's very interesting. I mean, I'll bring this up now without delving too much into the Blu-ray chat, but, that's what they're saying during the interviews. It's like, we could do whatever the fuck we wanted. It was back in the day when they gave you money and you just went apeshit. You could literally just do anything you wanted to do. And they have.
Totally. Well, I mean, like, really, like, super early on, like, it's all, like, it's all pretty straightforward to start with. And then when you first see William Catt and he's signing stuff at the... Oh, yeah. And you're like, hold on a second, what's going on here? This is like, this is mental.
Yeah, because he's an author, so he's signing his books, and you've kind of got that point of view.
You've got these fans that are just really mad, and like point of view of the fans that's just like quite odd, like, and then it just sort of, everything from then on is just sort of like confusing, and you don't, like, sort of funny and confusing, but you don't know whether it's like necessarily meant really. I mean, I think it is always, but like when
I think they were just like fucking around and having a good time with it.
I totally see when his aunt's died and he gets the house and he pitches up and he's speaking to the estate agent.
Yeah.
The estate agent who I was like, who the fuck is that guy? I really recognise him. And he was the hotel manager in Ghostbusters.
Ah, right. Jesus.
At the start of Ghostbusters. What a wild, which was directed the year before this. What a wild 2 years he had, eh? He was in Ghostbusters and then House.
I'll have to look that guy up, see what he's done.
Jesus. But then he was like showing him around and I was like, why is there an estate agent involved that doesn't know that he's inherited the house? Absolute like, what if he's inherited the house? Why is he turned up and there's an estate agent
just
there?
Walked in?
What is like? It makes no sense. And why is he not just saying to him the whole time that he's showing him around? Like, I know, A, this is my house, and B, like, I grew up like with my aunt living here. I know exactly what this house is. Like, it's just like, weird things like that are weird choices that they've made. You're just like, what is going on? And then we introduced to his like hot neighbour, but also George Wendt lives next door.
Yeah, I mean, what a neighbour to have.
We've got a bit of a Wendt theme going on in this podcast as well. He was in Bliss as well.
Yeah. Fully Wented.
Fully Wented up. I think we might have to go down a Wendt wormhole at some point.
I'm sure. I've seen a few with him in Dead by Dawn, which have not surfaced since, so that could be interesting.
Well, he was obviously quite happy to be in horror stuff as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he's in the documentary.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, honestly, man, this documentary just blew my tits off. Everyone's in it. But yeah, it's just weird. We're kind of missing the main story arc that wasn't mentioned in that fucking synopsis, is that his son has disappeared. Like,
his son's
presumed
disappeared.
deed.
Yeah, presumably, which is like
which is kind of the crux of the whole fucking film in a way, and they've not mentioned that in the in the synopsis. Wow!
But also, it's and it's also like that is the reason why him and his wife have split up. Maybe.
Yep, totally is. Yep. Because it turns out that he may have been drowned or thought drowned, but the body's not there. So he's been maybe kidnapped under the dad's watch. So obviously that's torn their relationship apart.
Yeah,
but it turns out the house has taken the kid.
The house has taken the kid, and the kid's there.
Well done, Letterboxd.
And he finds the kid.
Well done, Letterboxd. Fucking quality work.
Mad. But I mean, and then shit. Once stuff starts, once he decides he's going to stay there, write his book there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you another theme we've got going on in this is retro computers.
Oh, you gotta love a retro computer.
This podcast and retro computers, we're all over it, aren't we?
I mean, if you want to know anything about retro computers, come to us. We've seen them all.
Absolutely,
Cammie's
we've
owned
seen them
most
a
of
lot. Yeah, totally. still got them in the garage.
We're getting to retro tape players where he literally has owned them all. V2000? Found in a skip in Galashiels. Lovingly brought back to life.
Brought back to life, totally. V2000. I had several Betamax players. Quite a few VHSs. Still got some VHS. Lovely. For me, the point when I was like, right, hold on a second, what the fuck's going on with this film was quite early on when the massive beast jumps out of the cupboard at him.
Yep.
He then opens a cupboard and there's nothing there, just a cupboard.
Quite a shallow cupboard as well.
Quite a shallow cupboard, more of a press, really.
Yes.
And he is, so we know he knows the house is possessed and his aunt knows about the house. And his aunt seems to have been, his aunt also, who, by the way, when the police are around investigating the disappearance of his son, and he's clearly upset, his wife's like, ooh, someone's a bit touchy. They're like, fucking hell. He's lost his son. But yeah, so he decides he's going to... So then we get a sort of like a cut to a massive truck pulling up outside the house with loads of video equipment in it.
Yep.
So he can set up like a ridiculous array of video equipment to film it. But then he also dresses up in full military gear.
Inexplicably, yep.
Plans his escape route, and then we start getting Vietnam flashbacks.
Yeah, just out of nowhere.
And the Vietnam flashbacks, I have to say, now I've seen a lot of low budget films with Vietnam flashbacks. Some of them absolutely terrible Vietnam flashbacks, really, really bad, that don't look anything like Vietnam. This is by far the worst Vietnam reconstruction I've ever seen in my life. It's entirely built in a studio and looks like
it looks like
the set of E.T.
It looks like it's entirely built in a studio. It's so
looks like it's
unnatural. But it's unbelievable.
It's so unnatural, but also doesn't look anything like what I'd imagine Vietnam to look like. It seems to have like massive, like giant redwoods or something.
Conifers and things.
It looks like fucking the forest from E.T. It looks like the forest that the killer clowns from outer space.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I'll say about this, and you know, it's the restoration really brings it up. Is like I'm going to be like looks wise, this is one of the flattest looking films I've ever seen.
Totally.
I mean,
well, that's why I was saying it looks so much like it's been shot for TV. It just looks there. Yeah. Oh man, it is like they've just like basically whoever was lighting it has just like basically
blasted
put on fucking as many lamps as it can and just whacked them all.
How many lights have you got? 14,000. Bring all of them.
Totally. Put them all on at the same time.
They've dialed down. Actually, you have to turn some off because the camera we can't dial it enough down. We can't close the iris enough to try and fucking sort this out. And that's it, because there's no shallow kind of depth of field in any of it at all. It's very, which is odd for any film, really. So yeah, it's one of my main criticisms of it is it doesn't actually look very filmic, even though it is a film.
It doesn't at all. It looks like it's been shot for TV. It really, honestly, looks like it's been shot for TV, I think. Anyway, or it looks like when you're sitting watching a sort of Saturday TV or Sunday afternoon TV movie, you know, like a Columbo special or something like that. That's exactly what it looks like. Hold on a second. I'm just going to turn my security camera off because it comes on automatically at 10 at night. For some reason, I set it at 10 at night to come on. And the motion sensor, I keep setting it off because I'm sitting in front of it and it's now been filming me for 13 minutes.
Well, I was going to say I'd love to see some of the rushes from that, but maybe I wouldn't.
Oh my God, no! Some of the nights in here that we've forgotten that yes, dear me. Oh, some of my other notes here. I stopped taking notes after a little while, but
as we always do,
spear gun incident at the start with the
fish. Fucking bizarre.
Well, let's get to the fish. But no, the spear gun incident when the estate agent showed him around.
All right.
And he just fires the spear gun and it misses his head by about an inch and they both just sort of laugh about it.
Because you'd be chilled about that.
And the guy literally said, and I wrote it down word for word, the guy says, oops, sorry about that.
Yeah, totally, holy shit.
What the fuck was that kid's bed all about as well?
Insanity.
That he sleeps in.
Absolutely insanity.
It's like a car. It's like the sort of old-fashioned equivalent of one of those Ferrari car beds for kids. Yeah. What?
Oh my God.
Least convincing Vietnam sets. Another thing that I really, really liked as well, it's got moments of like really inventive brilliance in it.
Yep,
like
totally.
The bit when he's sitting watching TV and he sees his son at the window and he uses the remote control to switch his son off.
Yeah.
Because he knows it's a vision.
I mean,
it's amazing.
There is there's so much wild stuff in it. I mean,
oh, totally. I mean, my final note after my sort of very early notes, my final note was sweet shotgun skills from the Flying Skull.
Yes,
now,
indeed.
In a lot of films, you'd be like, "What? Like, how is that note a thing?" But yeah, there are flying skulls, and that's just the kind of nonsense that goes on in it.
Yeah, I mean, casting wise, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Big Wet there, absolutely fantastic. Really,
Big Wet. The main guy is great in it. I'd be really intrigued to see him in part 4 as well, and see exactly what he's like in it.
Yeah, it's a weird old series of stuff, but he's very. I think I liked everyone in it. Really, I think they all played the kind of hammy, cheesy part most. But what I wanted to come to you about was what did you reckon of the creature design? Because that's kind of what that's what this film kind of rests on, really.
Yeah, I really loved it. I thought it was great. It's quite wild, man. Though quite wild.
It's very odd and varied.
It's very odd. The creature that is like impersonating his wife.
Wow, mental.
The sort of purple is wild.
It's fucking.
I mean, these are like.
And again, that's
scale.
some of those things that I was like, and that whole thing is shot in stark broad daylight or
totally
massively. It's like, yeah, we're not going to hide what this looks like. It's like, this is exactly what the fuck this looks like. It's like, wow,
totally.
Jesus Christ.
Totally. And the beast that comes out of the cupboard as well. Wild design as well.
Check this out for a fucking stat on that thing. It's referred to as the war demon.
Right. Of course, because of Vietnam.
It measured 18 feet. And it was fully mechanized and operated by 15 people.
No way.
Yep.
That is insane. What?
It took them 3 months to make all the beasts and stuff.
Shit. I mean, even like the zombie soldier at the end.
I mean,
he's a bit shit because there's no depth to him. It's not as good as say American Werewolf in London or any of Dawn of the Dead or Day of the Dead or anything like that. It doesn't have that sort of, you can tell it's just an outfit on him, but it's great. It totally works in this film as well.
Definitely. It's really cool.
Oh, it's lovely. Yeah.
But again, shot with such stark lighting, it's just like, wow.
Oh yeah, totally. Totally. Really, you'd probably. I was thinking that. I was like, that's kind of like zombie outfit they put on someone, knowing that once they get a bit of sort of, liquid blood on it and the lights get dimmed and it gets a bit like, it looks way more realistic. But they're just like, nah, fuck it. This is what the guy looks like.
How many blunts have you got? 20. Fucking fire them all on, pal. Put
Get them all
of them
totally,
on.
boom.
I want them bouncing off ceilings, off the floor. I don't want a single ounce of shadow in this scene.
Zero shadow anywhere. Totally flat.
Crazy.
Want light coming from everywhere.
It's like God lit it. Absolute insanity.
It's wild, but I mean, the whole, everything about the logic in the film is just, well, there is no logic. It's just like insane. And it kind of works in its favour. It's just because it's not a long film. It's just over an hour and a half, I think. Yep. And you're not really given much time to rest, are you? There's not, no. It's just fairly
it does barrel along. There's no kind of
no sort of slow
in the
points
film,
at all.
and a lot of that's down to the actors because they really keep barreling along as well, and the dialogue is great a lot of the time as well. And having that kind of comedy element with Wynton in it as well is lovely because it keeps kind of bashing things along, and it's just a cracking little film all in all, to be honest.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong,
it is,
it's far from a perfect film, but it's entertaining, and wow, that's all you really want, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. Well, I mean, will we briefly, before we give it some thumb ratings, will we get briefly back to two things?
Okay.
The giant fish.
Oh, sorry,
and the flying tools.
That sounds like a different film altogether.
So he goes out to get the shotgun and then is chased by tools, and he manages to outrun them at one point, basically dupes them, shuts the door, and then just runs up, and then they're not really mentioned again.
And then nobody opens the door.
Well, they do come back later, don't they?
Yeah, when he opens the door, and then they kill the big flambly monster thing. But they stayed in there for a long time.
Totally, they were just waiting on him, weren't they? Just waiting, the flying tools.
Yeah, the old swordfish. Is it a swordfish?
Swordfish.
That's it.
Yeah. Madness. That's what Maddie Ann was saying. It was like, she's like, oh, it's like one of those Billy Bass fish that you used to get.
Totally.
It's mad.
It just lends to the whole unreality of the whole thing, which I quite like. So it's like nothing seems out of place in this film because it's just total madness.
Yeah, no, it's great. And I mean, obviously, like all shot in the one location, so, keeping the budget nice and tight.
What a dream. What a dream.
What an absolute dream. Lovely. Will we get around to our ratings?
Let's do it, and then we'll check out.
The one other thing I would say was a soundtrack. Soundtrack by the guy who did the soundtrack for the infamous, soundtrack for Friday the 13th.
Yes, and it's got some really fucking cool, recognisable pop hits in it as well, which is quite a bit of a surprise.
It does. Yes, that's right. So, but yeah, totally. Yeah, we were quite shocked by that as well.
So when it comes in, you're like, yeah, this fucking works, even though it's insane and makes no sense, but we'll deal with it. But yeah, all good. So, shall we get to our rating? Then we'll take a stab at the tomatometer, if that's a real word.
Yes, a tomatometer. Yeah. I am. So I'm going to give it. I think I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up.
Yes.
And my thing is that I don't think it's a particularly good film in terms of, the cinematic greats or anything like that, because it's not. But it is a thoroughly entertaining bit of absolute nonsense.
Yeah.
I mean, and absolute nonsense it is. But I can't really fault it on very much. It's cheap.
Yep.
It doesn't look particularly great. The acting's not amazing in parts, but it's always engaging. The actors all totally work in this film, and it never really lets up. It's like it's not a breakneck speed. It's not like Evil Dead 2, which you evoked earlier, like breakneck speed the whole time. It's way more sedate than that, but it's never boring. It's always enjoyable. And it's just a really nice little oddity out there in the mid-80s when, I guess horror is generally pretty serious now. I can't really imagine what a sort of general horror comedy would look like just now. Do you know what I mean? Quite a sort of completely original, out of nowhere horror comedy that's just going to get released in cinema.
At least
fair play to them.
We could actually be living it now, to be honest.
Well, we are living it just now, aren't we? Shit.
Moments of terror, moments of laughter. More terror, though.
More terror, generally more terror. But yeah, I mean, I've definitely two thumbs up for me. I'm looking forward to watching it again. I will be keeping an eye out for the Blu-ray box set arriving again. I missed out on it. It was HMV had it in a recent sale for $19.99.
Oh, did they? Fuck.
Unbelievable bargain. Sold out and guaranteed the minute they get it a restock on that, it's going to be back up to 50 quid.
Yeah, notification. You never know.
I do. I've signed up for an email notification.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you want to give it your rating?
Yeah, well, I'm not going to argue with anything you said. Like, you've pretty much summed up what I've thought from the beginning of ever watching this film. Definitely 2 thumbs up. I mean, for me as a creature guy, I love all the creatures and the weirdness in it. As you say, and it's just obvious. I mean, it's not a great looking film anywhere near a great looking film. As you say, It doesn't even look filmic, but I just love the madness of it. I love the insanity, and I like the performances. And yeah, when I bought the box set again, I was quite nervous because I hadn't watched it for God knows how many years.
That's always the thing with these things, isn't it?
It is, and it's very rare that I do it because that's my nerve point. But this came along, it's like, I've got really strong memories of this film being fucking mental and quite enjoying it. And they hold fast. It's a 2 thumbs up from me, and if you've got a chance to have a look at it, I mean, if you've got if you've got an Amazon account, you can sign up to Arrow. For Arrow are doing it. Man, they're doing a 30-day free trial. So you'd be an idiot not to do that. And I think House is on there, I think. Or even if it's not, who gives a fuck? 30 days of Arrow films for nothing.
Right, exactly. Well worth signing up to.
We're in lockdown. What better thing could you do? None.
Exactly.
No better.
It sounds like I had quite a noisy house for this whole recording. Quite a lot of people stomping around.
Wow, that's the nature of the house.
To be up and jumping about.
The nature of the house.
Yes, indeed.
As long as that thing doesn't come out the cupboard, you're all good.
So that's 2 thumbs up from both of us. So
right, should we check out
the?
Right, I'm going to do it. I'll do it. What's your?
I was intrigued.
What's your
just
theory?
having a look there to see what happened in the States with this film.
Okay.
If we do have listeners, unbelievably, we do have listeners in the States. You've obviously watched this on the UK Blu-ray box set.
Yep.
I just had to look to see. It was released by Arrow in the States as well.
Okay.
But only in a box with 2 discs called House 2 Stories, with House and House 2 in it.
Oh, right.
So they obviously don't have the rights for the other ones over there. But shit, yeah, man. I mean, the original Blu-ray collection that you got is wild, man. So there's like a DVD of each of the films as well.
But we'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Right,
Okay,
let's do the important thing. I'm excited about it because it's a new thing, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
Right, what do you think? A, Rotten Tomatoes is going to say, and B, the audience score.
Right, I'm going to say Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know how. I can't imagine what critics thought about this film at the time. I think they probably quite liked it.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to say critics at 60%.
Okay, strong.
And I'm going to say fans at 80%.
Oh, wow, that's a strong game. I don't know where to go with this.
I think it's a fan favourite.
Yeah, you'd like to think so.
Yeah. Well, I was fairly close on the critics.
Yeah. We were so far off in the audience, it was unbelievable.
Shit, totally. Shit.
Oh, well.
I thought it was a fan favourite. But I suppose the thing with Rotten Tomatoes is that people are just going on to it who might not be horror fans, might not be genre fans, who are just going on to say, oh, watch this film and it's shit. Why do people go on there anyway?
I don't understand it. I've never gone on it. I've never.
What?
Why I have no idea why you'd submit a review. But I guess it's just a sign of the times.
Really,
it's a sign of the times, Cammie. We're all fucked.
It certainly is. We're all fucked. So let's move on to the Blu-ray section.
The Blu-ray section. I'm going to request a bit of pee.
Toilet break. Okay,
Yeah, hang
I'm
on,
going to have a wine refill.
Wait. Oh. I'm done.
Well,
And
okay.
I'm just sorry.
And we're back in.
Right.
Happy
Tea
days.
and beer.
Right.
Oh,
I'll be back in a sec.
Oh, we hardly ever do.
Woo, blue! It's the Blu-ray reviews, yeah! Blue! It's the Blu-ray reviews, yeah! Blue! It's the Blu-ray reviews, yeah! Blue! It's the Blu-ray review!
I was unable to buy the Blu-ray box set.
Which is fair enough.
Which is very annoying. I've been trying for several weeks to get it at a good price, and I did not manage it in time. So whereas we were going to get the Blu-ray review from yourself, I rented it on Google Play Movies.
Ah, okay. Good.
Yeah, for the princely sum of £1.99.
Oh, hard to argue with that.
Unbelievable. And so I usually always watch all the films on the projector as well, but I recently got rid of the I sound like a total cunt here, but I got rid of one of the PS4s.
Oh, just one of them.
Just one of them.
Yeah, okay.
It was the PS4 that was in the lounge and was connected to the projector, and I used to use that for
Streaming movie.
sort of streaming stuff and blah blah blah. That's been replaced by a Blu-ray player, which does have some sort of online functionality, but doesn't have anything I can just rent something from.
Right.
So I had to retreat to the TV and rent it on the smart TV. But actually, do you know what? It was great. So I didn't watch it on the huge TV. There's really not much to say except that when the film first came on, I was like, oh fuck. And then I quickly realised that the film, there are sort of shots, there are negative shots in the intro.
Mm-hmm.
And also that there was quite a lot of crushed blacks and stuff as well. And that was all to do with the, I guess, sort of buffering at the start, typical streaming stuff. By the time the end credits had finished, the opening credits had finished, it was streaming in full HD. Looked great for the film, I'd imagine. I'd be interested to see it on Blu-ray, but certainly quite a lot of grain, but in a sort of non-intrusive sort of way, and quite soft as well looking. But I guess that's probably just the print. I don't know. But certainly no issues streaming it at all. And yeah, so I wasn't doing it through the Arrow streaming service or anything like that. It was just a straight up rental through. And I think actually it's available to buy, to own, if you can ever really own things in the digital makeup of things. But I think to buy it in HD on Google Play Movies is $4.49 maybe. Okay. But yeah, $1.99. But that's a bargain for an overnight rental.
Yep, totally. As I say,
how is the Blu-ray?
I got this day one release. So I'll try and speak into the mic. That's it. Troll this stuff over.
So
I can't remember. I can't remember how much it cost.
Say quickly. Sorry, Marianne's come into the room, and she's drunk. Has a towel around her neck, and has bleached her hair.
Can I have a look?
Yeah, come over here, Marianne. It's still
so ginger right now. Can you see?
It's gone ginger.
Fucking hell! All right, Keith Flint, how you doing?
It's only been in for 5 minutes. For 45 minutes.
John says, "All right, Keith Flint, how you doing?"
Look at it.
Right.
She's a fire starter.
Oh my god.
Right.
What's the worst that could happen?
Locked. Wow. Oof. Wow.
Right. We'll see you soon.
Jesus.
Right. On with your review, right. John. Sorry for that interruption.
Lockdown times have resorted to oddness.
Lockdown madness. The booze has descended.
I don't know if this edition is even available anymore. Is it not?
It's not available at all.
Right,
no.
Okay.
So the edition that's now available is 4 standard Blu-rays.
Right. Is it in one box, or what we're talking? It's in
a box, but there is I believe that standard Blu-ray content is the same, but
Yeah.
there's no additional extras or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So what is in this box of treats?
Right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll make this as quick as I possibly can. And to be honest, let's be honest, our recordings are going fucking way over what they used to be, so who cares anymore? So I have this. It is a
Oh, that's beautiful.
hard.
Oh, the box.
If you know that, you know the things you've got from the recent Argentos from Arrow, like Phenomena and Cat Nine Tails.
Yeah.
It's that
sort
kind of
proper
hard,
heavy duty box.
heavy duty box. Really, giving them credit. I mean, what I wanted to say about this box is, for my sending out my wedding films, I had something not similar, but of the same vein made, and obviously mine are on a much lower, much lower run, obviously.
Yeah.
So if I buy 100, it'll cover me for a year, but they still cost me about £18 a box.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and so something like this is just like this is when I start to appreciate what they're doing. It's like, fuck me. They're really putting it's way better than the old slipcase thing. So we get 4 films in USA style thin boxes.
Yeah.
All with reversible sleeves, new artwork and reversible sleeves. And what I really, really love is this cracking little hardback book that you get with it.
Shit, that's hefty.
It is,
isn't
and
it?
it's like
That's a proper little book. Proper hardback.
proper fucking
nice.
book. And it's beautiful print inside it. Everything, honestly, I mean, and this wasn't even that expensive when it first came out. It was less expensive than the new one they're doing.
Than the new edition now, yeah.
Bizarre, but lovely. As far as the print for the house goes, it is fucking flawless. Which
Right.
unfortunately shows up more of its flaws, looking like essentially.
that is a problem with these things.
I mean, for the one I watched last night, it was like there was like almost no grain present at all. It was bizarre.
Right.
It is clean as fuck. The film will never look any better, without question. It's I mean, if you are a fan of the house films and you've not known about this edition, I would actually probably pull the plug out and pay some extra for it, because it is that beautiful. I mean, honestly, the quality of this book, and it's fucking insanity.
Yeah, it looks lovely.
It's
I'm going to actually
just
just do a
crazy.
wee check and see how
crazy.
much it's currently kicking about for.
Yeah,
on
I
eBay.
just presumed it hadn't sold out, so I didn't realise it was a new edition at all. So, but yes, as far as the picture goes, can't argue with it. Extras, I've only watched one of the extras from the house one, and only because it was a new feature from Arrow, and it is an excellent documentary that features pretty much every single person involved in the film. So there's an archive documentary as well, but I just wanted to watch the new one. And Arrow have really knocked out the park with this one. It's not massively long, it's like a bit over an hour, but like literally everyone in the film is in this documentary, and for me that is a 10 out of 10 documentary.
Yeah, totally. That's what you want, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the length they've gone to do that is so fucking cool. That, if you're a fan of this film, you'd be insane not to pick this up.
I would love to pick it up. And I'm actually looking just now. Lots of people seem to be quite confused and selling the standard version. I think people are probably putting it on eBay thinking they're going to get shitloads for it. But there's the sold on the 19th of May. Your version of the House of Collection, £109.99.
Well, it won't be going anywhere here. It's a cherished wee beast. And I was to say, I mean, the quality of it, the quality of the print, even on the housing box, is just fucking outstanding.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
I mean, Arrow, as we've said before, I've just gone fucking insane. Knocked the whole thing out of the park. I mean, this... If you've not got one before, to be honest, fucking pay the 110 quid. You won't,
Yeah.
you won't be disappointed. If you
you're a
fearing
big
you're going to
fan.
be disappointed by it, you will not be disappointed by it. Or you could potentially buy it from me for 910 quid.
That is honestly, that is
I'll
that
sign
kind
it.
of packaging with your movie. That is exactly the kind of packaging that I'm hoping for the eye-wateringly expensive Dawn of the Dead box set that I've put money down
you
on.
put it down, haven't you? Yeah.
I've done it.
Good man. Well,
$79.99.
you're supporting the artist.
I'm supporting artists straight there. I'm supporting artists in heaven. No, supporting the label. But yeah.
Yeah, I know, but it's a cracking wee box. You know what? Fuck it. I think would it come to 25 quid for just the general one? If the next Arrow sale, I would definitely get involved in that for 25
Yeah,
quid.
in the next Arrow sale, I'll be looking out for it. If it comes back into HMV for 20 quid, I will fucking snap up straight away. At the minute, it's 50 quid everywhere, which feels a little bit pricey.
Yeah, I'd say
but
it is.
actually,
I don't know what it looks like, but compared to something like this I bought for less than 50 quid, I would say no, don't do it.
Yeah, that's an absolute beauty. I remember it coming out as well, and I wish I'd bought it. And I kind of wish I'd bought the original Hellraiser Scarlet box as well.
Yeah,
with
we're all
additional
in that bracket. There's so many releases. I'm like, I wish I'd got that one.
Well, very interesting going forward for our next film,
Yes.
for next week, our next link. We are taking Sean Cunningham and we are running with that. Sean Cunningham, who also produced Wes Craven's first film, The Last House on the Left, which we're going to be covering next time. And which I managed to pick up what seems to be CEX's last copy of the. We had a bit of confusion. We'll go into this when we actually get to it next time. But slight bit of confusion, and it transpires that the standard edition is not out yet.
Britain,
so I have just shelled out for the soon to be pricey, I think. Triple
I
disc
think
special
actually
edition.
you watch that, you'll sell it for double the price you bought it for.
Yeah, well, there we go. That's lockdown, isn't it, mate? Lockdown.
Yes, I should be watching it by roughly other means. So, let's get into that before we sign off. So we are last out on the left. We are trying something slightly unusual, which could be a fucking calamity.
Yes, it could be a total calamity. We are. So you visit down here to come and see your mum every week.
Oh, is that where we're going?
Is that what we're doing with it?
No. The theory of the next film is it's actually two films.
Oh yeah, shit. Oh, that's
I'm not getting involved in your weird,
my weird different cuts of the film.
Yeah, John, why don't you watch one cut? I'll watch a different cut, and we'll talk about it.
No, we're going to watch two. Right. So yeah, of course. Sorry, I completely muddled this up. We're not only doing Last House on the Left from 1972. We're also doing the recent remake of Last House on the Left as well.
Scarily, 2009, I think.
2009
or 11 maybe. Sorry.
And we're going to watch them both. I wonder if we should do an I Spit in Your Grave original, and
I think we should do that after. Yeah, totally.
After,
because have you seen the new I Spit in Your Grave?
Yeah, I think I watched it with you.
Did you? All right, fucking hell, it's fucking horrible, man. Really horrible. Really horrible.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to watch two versions of Last House on the Left. We're going to see which is the most upsetting. I have only seen the original Last House on the Left once. I've not seen the new one at all. Let's just see how fucking deeply horrible and depressing those two films are.
I've seen them both. Oh man, imagine we actually watched them back to back. Are you going to do that?
Oh, I might try and do that.
Ooh.
I might try. Oh, that might be exciting.
What a hammer kick to the balls that would be.
Oh, totally. Jesus. God. Okay, well, so this is and this is something we can come back to in the future again with anything that's got a modern remake.
If anyone wants to
could
suggest one. get involved.
If anyone wants to suggest a modern remake, get in touch with us at jimmygiblets@hotmail.com.
Hit us up on Facebook on the Captain's Horror Meltdown. Something happens on Twitter, or send me a letter. If you send it to Leith, I'll probably get it.
Yeah. We do have an email address, which is
horrormeltdownpod@gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
Which I haven't checked for about 3 months. But
it's fine. We get lots of wine deliveries through that. So
we do.
good.
I look at it and again. But
Totally.
as always, you can text Cammie on 079 003.
Yeah, horrormeltdownpod@gmail.com. Or you can hit me up at although I deleted Twitter because I was getting so irate at the right-wing madness on there. Jesus, what
I think we do have a Horror Meltdown Twitter, but I can't remember what it is.
We do. I'm signed into it. Into it, and it automatically emails out when we actually release the podcast.
Horror Meltdown Pod, the Captain at Horror Meltdown, maybe?
Yeah, something like that. I have no idea. I'll try and work it out for next time. But it's absolutely fucking shocking.
Welcome to the
wants
lives of people when they are 40 odd. This is what happens. No one's any idea what's going on. Technology just becomes a fucking scourge.
God, carnage, absolute carnage.
Anyway, it's been fun.
Anyway, lovely. Join us next time for Last House on Left double bill.
Oofed. Hopefully not double length, but we can't guarantee it.
We can't guarantee it. Depends how drunk we get. Okay, well, we're going to love you and leave you. This ship isn't going to sail itself, so we better get back to all hands on deck. Thanks a lot as always, thanks a lot for listening, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Cheers, guys.